Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are, welcome. We are so glad you're here. My name is Ann Murphy, and this is one of our SheLeadsAI live events. And today we have a preview. We get to know some of our speakers for our upcoming System Override event, which is on September 4th. It's from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific because this is just how we roll. We try to have a little event. It turns out into a 12-hour, 24-hour, 36-hour thing. So welcome to SheLeadsAI because we came here for action. My name is Ann Murphy. I'm the founder of SheLeadsAI as well as Empowered Fundraiser Consulting. So my zone of genius is nonprofit and higher ed fundraising. My group, we run campaigns for nonprofits. We do feasibility studies. We train major gift officers, work closely with academic leaders to help them learn how to fundraise and work well with high net worth families. And we do it all through a social justice lens, which is part of the reason why working with SheLeadsAI has been such a joy for me, is because it's been a way for me to kind of extend what my impact on the world might be. So I bring AI solutions to the nonprofits I work with, and I work a lot with small and medium-sized businesses that serve the nonprofit sector. So that's a little bit about me. What we're going to do today is I'm going to share a little bit about SheLeadsAI, and then we're going to bring our speakers, 4 of our speakers from System Override up, and we're going to have a conversation about their relationship with AI, what signals we might be missing, where we could be, maybe areas where we're using AI where we don't necessarily need to be. And I'm really looking forward to our time together. If you have any questions and you're here live, feel free to drop them in the comments in the chat and we will get to those. And as well, if you're watching later on the replay, feel free to drop any questions you might have or connect with myself or any of the speakers on LinkedIn to ask your question directly. We are always delighted to have the opportunity to chat with people about AI. So don't hesitate if there's something that's on your mind. We're your people. So I am going to share just a little bit about SheLeadsAI. Our mission is to unite accomplished women to advance AI for global prosperity. With women's leadership at the forefront, AI will advance equity and social responsibility. It wouldn't just be a different conversation with women at the helm, it would be a different world. By bringing together women innovators and mission-aligned partners, we're ensuring that collaboration leads to individual career growth and grows each woman's impact on future generations. Through our academy, consulting, and community events, we unite women to lead and innovate in AI, building a future we all want to be part of. So if you were to take the 8 million things I would want everybody to know about SheLeadsAI, and you were to shove it into a few sentences, this really sums it all up. We are a fun, encouraging, warm community of AI optimists. But when I say optimists, I do not mean that we are abjectly enthusiastic about AI. We lose sleep, we wring our hands, we kick down doors, we are in policy conversations. We want AI to be used to the greatest good, and we want to ameliorate some of the horrible impacts of AI on civil rights, human rights, environmental rights, and more, depending on your point of view. So I wanted to share that with you all. That's a little bit of what we are about, and you can always learn more at SheLeadsAI.ai. Now, the event that our speakers will be sharing more at is called System Override. It's September 4th. Like I said, it's from 8 to 8 Pacific. You can register at SheLeadsAI.ai, and we are super looking forward to it. Our lineup is bananas. It is so good. Our speakers are so incredibly knowledgeable and so generous in sharing their expertise with us. I personally cannot wait and I know that there's no way you should believe me when I say this, but 12 hours will go by in a snap for me. I love these events. And then I wanted folks who are a little bit newer to AI or who have friends who maybe are like really sick of hearing them talk about AI, bring them to this workshop. Every month we host an AI Foundations for Beginners workshop. It's on Friday night. It's chill vibes. Our executive director of our AI Academy, 𝘠𝘠𝘕 who is a lifelong educator, she runs these sessions, and we walk through some of the basics, like what even is this? What is AI? Right? You don't need to have ever gone on ChatGPT or Claude or, insert 15 other platforms. You don't have to have ever lifted a finger using AI to join us for this AI Foundations workshop. This will get you the baseline that you need in order to decide, do you want to continue learning how to use AI, or is this something that you would just kind of roll the dice and wait and see what happens? So these are on, they're monthly. The next one is August 29th, which, if I'm not mistaken, oh my goodness gracious, that's on Friday. That's this Friday. So go to SheLeadsAI.ai to register for that. And we would very much look forward to hosting anyone. We are very, very proud to be able to offer any support that we can for women who are still on the sidelines. And like I said, if you have people in your life who are kind of like, they're like, you're the AI, you're the person in my life who keeps trying to talk to me about AI and they don't want to anymore, like send them to us. So you guys can still be friends. They will still like hanging out with you. Send them to us for the AI part and we'll help fill the gap. Um, all right. So let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to be sure to add? There are so many, many things. Oh, I know. I was going to put in one more plug. We host Social Saturday every single weekend. There'll be like 40 of us on Zoom. It's come as you are. Bring your cat, dog, bring multiple beverages, snacks. Don't worry about what your hair looks like. You can be in your pajamas. You can eat your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's from 10 a.m. Pacific to noon, and we're there every single weekend. You register at SheLeadsAI.ai, and the next 2 weekends are going to be really interesting topics. One, this weekend is the future of work. So we're going to have some folks in talking about, how work is changing for the workers, for the knowledge workers like us, and for organizations. And it's this concept of like, we were not trained for any of this. Like, think about who in the world has been trained to be an agent boss, for example? Who has been trained to be the boss of an agent boss? Not very many people. So we're looking at the future of work this Saturday. And then the following Saturday, we'll be talking about AI adoption. So myself and 2 other AI adoption experts we're going to outline some of the methodology that we use in assessing AI readiness, helping create frameworks, particularly governance and policy. So if you're interested in sort of the futurism around what work is going to look like, what organizations are going to look like, the next 2 Saturdays are going to be really good opportunities for you to get like a quick knowledge transfer. Oh, we have another guest. Good. We have 𝘠𝘠𝘕. So with all of that said, I'm going to bring up our co-hosts and I will ask them to, is Michelle, Michelle, oh dear, Michelle's upside down. How about that? Are you wanting to be on screen, dear? I'm going to put you back just in case. I'm going to put you back because I think you don't want to be upside down, but you text me or something. All right. So why don't we take a moment and let's just we'll go around. I'll call on you in case your screen isn't in the same order and share who you are, where you're tuning in from, And tell us a little bit about your relationship with AI. So why don't I begin with Amina?
Yeah, hey, and thanks for a lovely giving us a context about how She Leads AI works and how it can bring value into people's lives, especially who are overwhelmed with what AI is in general. So yeah, thank you for that. So your question is the how what's my relationship with AI, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, a little brief introduction about myself. I'm working as a senior data engineer at Walmart. And I'm not sure if our audience is purely technical. So, Anne, stop me if I get into that technical
Yeah.
rabbit hole, right?
Technical's good. Technical's good. Yeah. If
Okay.
anything, we're it's okay to go a little bit higher. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I'm being a senior data engineer. I am responsible for building all these data platforms which enable the all our AI machine learning models. So I'm that one person. If something like the data doesn't look right or something is missing, all the teams at Walmart chase me. So I have to make sure that whatever I provide is high quality. I adhere to the data governance. I work a lot on the compliance side of things. And since I deal with a lot of PII information, I make sure when I'm working with AI, because these are third party vendors, all the AI tools, so I make sure everything is like super data masking, masked, or there is some sort of like encryption done on our data because very sensitive data is what we deal with. So yeah, that's my relationship with AI. Other than working with the developer coding tools that we use, that comes in handy, that works like a junior assistant where I can say, hey, start up a project, do let's spin up a website and create this little dashboard and see how our data looks like. Other than that, doing that basic stuff with AI, my relationship is making sure that whatever gets fed into these AI tools is all safe and secured and of the highest quality.
Wonderful. Gosh, that is such a hot topic. I think I spent the last 3 days talking about the challenges of clean data, good data, data privacy and security, and how all of that is a precursor to us doing anything with change management. Like people, process, and culture, it doesn't matter if the data isn't all the ways that you're in charge of making sure it is. So thank you. We're so glad you're here, Amina, and thank you for pivoting so quickly as we got in touch. Nagawa, how about you? Tell us where you're tuning in from, what you're up to, and what your relationship is with AI.
So, hi everybody. I'm Nagawa, and I'm a consultant. I'm in London, so I'm tuning in from London, and I work with generally startups and entrepreneurs who are purpose-driven, and so I help them with their kind of their AI adoption and how they use it and how they implement it, and make sure it's like ethically done, it's responsibly done, making sure there's good representation, and making sure there's always like a human in the loop. And if there are like members who are like scared of AI, to like kind of like explain to them that it's not taking away your job, basically. It's just there to help you enhance your capabilities so that you can perform your job better and just even find out more, about things you didn't know before. So that's what I
Mhm.
do. And so my relationship with AI is one of always researching, finding facts. It's so much easier to find knowledge these days, and then trying to make sure if I find something of interest and I'm creating something creatively, it's like I share it with everybody. It's like, did you
Yes.
know this? It's like I found this about women in the 1940s in Africa, and this was how they were working, during the colonial era. And so and kind of show them like, progress and things like that. So it's always like about educating people and like doing it in an entertaining way, as well as like working kind of like giving business value.
I love how generous you are with your findings and that you provide your educational content to us in multiple formats, which I learned through one of your posts where I got to look at something from like a notebook LM, read it, I read some stuff, and I read your post, and then I looked at a bunch of images. I learned about myself that it's much easier for me to learn new information if I look at it from two different formats. So I for sure appreciate that perspective. Thank you. So glad you're here. Okay, Chris Houston.
Thank you.
Hello there.
Welcome.
Hi. So I'm Chris Houston. I'm tuning in from St. Paul, Minnesota. And what I do is I kind of, because I was the only one on our team of global communicators that kind of really knew sort of how to deploy AI tools for generative AI, I sort of made myself a job, and I'm now kind of in charge of the AI education and AI adoption across our function in global communications, and it's for quite a large company. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of content that has to be delivered across the globe in different formats and different languages. And so AI as a large language model, and me working with the large language models in the human format, it's a really good fit. So what I'm going to present in our meeting, our conference, is kind of what does it mean to be in a workplace and sort of being on the forefront of adopting these tools, or how do you kind of say that, hey, I know how to use some of these, or hey, I need more support, or what's the expectation of me as an employee to level up, because it's really nebulous right now. And there's a lot of fear being given to employees. So I thought, hey, let's come together and start talking about how to advocate for yourself that you know or don't know or want to know AI tools, and bring up some ethics that are involved, some bias in the language and all those things, but how to do it in a way where leaders will pay attention.
You have to package it up properly, right? in a way that's consumable and palatable and not as scary as sometimes we know it can be. Sunday.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi.
I am in southern Mississippi, and my relationship with AI is, there are varieties of ways that I plug into it, but I came to AI with the pandemic. Most of my friends jumped into sourdough. I jumped into Python and neural networking, and that has moved me through providing support and guidance to women who are either leaving W-2 work and looking for a way to build a one-person business using AI instead of employees. And the other is to advocate for an infrastructure layer that prioritizes the contributions of anybody other than white men. So that's hugely
Did
of it.
Sunday? Oh, there she is. There she is. Keep going. All good.
I apologize.
Don't apologize. It's all good.
I lost you. Dang it.
Oh, don't say it's okay. We got you. We see
I
you.
hate this technology sometimes.
Good to see you.
We are.
Oh, she's
all
on
good.
mute. I think if you can unmute her, and
I don't have her on mute. Okay. Please remove. Ooh, I think she might have her on. Have her. You know what, Sunday? We will come back. How about that? We will come right back to you. Good, good, good. All right. Let me do this. Let's see. And where is Chris? Don't even worry about it. It's all good. Is Chris on screen, or is Chris kind of on screen? She's on screen. Okay.
I'm kind of
Hold
on
on a
screen.
second.
I'm going to be on my phone because my IT has blocked restream, so
Oh,
I was not
got it.
able to get on normal screen. So
That's okay. I love the ingenuity of, you know. Yes. I actually, now we're just having a conversation and other people are listening in on it, but which I love. I actually didn't know if I could use Restream on my phone effectively at all. So after 3 years of fighting with this particular platform, I now know something new, which is delightful. So let me dive in and ask folks. Oh wait, by the way, Sunday, are you? Let's see. I know when you're ready to come back. Let me ask, I just like love being able to learn from people who are looking at AI from their particular zone of genius or their job role or the kind of clients they work with or their fun, their fun projects. So from within an area where you're an expert, what are the AI trends that you're paying the most attention to? And Sunday, what we'll do is when I go over to you, we'll do a more complete answer to the question. So, Amina, what trends are you paying attention to in your role as a data engineer?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And like we were talking about getting everything into one place before our stream started, I think that's the real pain that I'm having with the AI tools. It's too overwhelming, especially at enterprise level like Walmart, where you have everything available at your fingertips. You have trainers, you have AI tools, you just name it and you have it. The real challenge is what's really useful for your use case, for your team. I think that's what I'm solving right now. And I'm trying to do a lot of vibe coding. Like I'm trying to come up with some sort of like MVPs, which I can experiment with and benchmark, which fits the role for our team because tech stack differs a lot in Walmart for every team. They might be doing the same thing, but the tech stacks the talent that the team has varies and tech stack also varies depending upon the leniency that they have and things like that. The budget and everything plays a role there. So I'm trying to spin up like small projects on my side on my own where I'm trying to show, hey, like the very simple example I was trying to do this morning was like, hey, I want a view of all my Jira tickets and my meetings and my task in one single place, like a weekly view every day, so that I don't hop into multiple tools. And I was looking for like what MCP service does Walmart provides and how can I like make things easier for all my other teammates so that it becomes less of a friction to go to Jira board to get a create the ticket and then come back to my calendar and see what is blocking me and sort out my day. So I think that's what I'm doing, and that trend I'm seeing with everyone. Everybody is like trying to use AI tools to solve their real pain problems. It's these small repetitive tasks. If we could automate that, I think that would be amazing. I think that's one trend I'm seeing company wide. Nobody is like looking to launch like a big project, do millions. They're trying to solve those little tiny painful problems that they deal with every day.
Yes, yes, that's so great. So let me ask you this. After you vibe code an MVP, what's your next step?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, what we usually do is like when we bring the MVP, we talk about it, we bring visibility, we show how it brings value, and a couple of senior engineers test it out. And like when we brainstorm and talk about all the design challenges and what it takes to take to production, we usually like to fail fast. So, we go quickly and bring it to production ASAP. We try to reverse engineer and see what we need and what we don't have. Based on those decisions, I think we quickly get into production. So I usually take it from a month or two. And it's very easy with the AI tools. Now you don't have to spend a lot of time in coding. Instead, you can really focus on your requirements and product itself and show in real to the leadership what you're talking about instead of just like going through a ton of documentation. Hey, this is how my design will look like and all that. I think that's a game changer with AI.
I do too. That's one of my favorite things about being able to vibe code something is being able to bring a mock-up to the meeting. It just makes such a huge difference. Even just the words vibe coding. If you're saying to, a decision maker, I'll BRB, I'm gonna go vibe code an MVP. They're like, what is vibe coding? What is, like just show me the thing. Nagawa, how about you? What trends are you seeing in AI that are particularly of interest to you?
So for me at the moment, it's like everybody's trying to use agents, and it's like and they can more keep coming on the scene. So it's like almost every day, oh, this has come out, this has come out. And it's like, trying, and they're right at the beginning. So it's like, for example, just the other day, like Minimax had a hackathon just so to get people using it and remixing what they had so that they could have like, specific, use cases. So like whether it was a portfolio, whether it was content, it was like in creating newsletters, and it was like people from all over the world because some of it was in Chinese. So, but it was really interesting, but it's like, so it's like almost everybody's coming out with like a solution where you can get an agent, but it's just trying to find out, was it going to solve my problem? Like how much of it, there needs to be a human in the loop. Where is it going to come into? Just exactly. And making sure that you're not giving like things that are like, answers that are wrong, and making sure there's no bias in them. So governance is quite important, and just making sure there's like representation, when you're bringing out things, there's no bias, there's no microaggressions in there, and just making sure like, everybody's like represented. So that's, and like not using them if you don't need to. There's another simpler way that's, less, takes you less time and is quicker. Go for that instead. Don't do something complicated just because it's in fashion.
Right. We are there's a lot of pressure on us to, to chase that shiny object, right? And I guess for those of us on the call, like people look to us as the ones who know, is the shiny object worth it? Is it not worth it? But sometimes they come to us and they already want it. And we get to back up and have the conversation about like, what actually is the desired outcome here, right? Like for me, I'm hungry and I want a pizza. I've been trying to get ChatGPT agent to order me a pizza for 2 weeks. If I had waited for that, I would be very, very hungry. Instead, I could and get my pizza right away. Furthermore, the ChatGPT agent, all it keeps doing is giving me the links to the local Domino's pizza. And I'm like, I'm really sure that I can press a button and find, anyway, that's an oversimplified version of it, but I see that happening a lot. Sundie, give us the whole meal deal. Intro, your relationship with AI, and what are the trends you're paying attention to?
Absolutely. So I live in Southern Mississippi and provide AI services to small and medium businesses and women solopreneurs, women who are looking to open and run one-person businesses to either regain their time, their retirement, or even just their sanity. I came to AI a little bit differently than most people. During the pandemic, friends turned to sourdough, and I turned to all things neural networking and even Python. So I have this interesting background of technology as well as kind of the social advocacy portion of it. The trend that I see in AI is the level of confidence that women gain when they use these tools, when they are able to decode all of the thoughts, problems, and solutions that they feel they can bring to the world. And articulate them in a way that is easily received. So that's the trend that I'm seeing in the women that I've interacted with and worked with, is that real boost of confidence and the ability to advocate not for staff replacement. AI is not a luxury. And sure, it's a fun tool. It's a latest and greatest gadget, but it really does become a tool for survival as we move through the future of work. So whether it's bringing light to the skills that you have, the upskilling that you've done, there are a number of things, number of trends that I'm following, but that's another big one.
I love that notion of the confidence boost. And if you think about it as, something in your survival kit when you're working as an employee, gosh, I wish I would have had some way of bouncing ideas off of a neutral, impartial entity when I was unsure of myself, when I was afraid to bring an idea into the conversation because I didn't know if I had enough context to poke holes in my idea. I had no idea what the other people's questions might be. And so therefore, I sometimes kept my ideas to myself. Or I probably didn't roll them out as convincingly as I would have if I had 8 minutes to ask ChatGPT to anticipate what questions my boss is going to ask. Imagine if we could help, imagine, the women who are now using it in this way to kind of cancel out some of that imposter syndrome and let them move into those conversations with more confidence. Great. Awesome. How about this? And I think I'd like to go to 𝘚𝘩𝘦 first on this one. What's an overlooked issue in leading in responsible AI? What are we not paying enough attention to? There's a lot, but in terms of, if we want to be part of minimizing the negative and optimizing the positive, what are we not paying enough attention to from your perspective?
I think it's making sure we kind of don't repeat what happened before. So kind of like the biases that are already instilled into the system. This is our opportunity to change things. Do you see what I mean? Give voices to people who before were not there, who were not being seen. It's a way now to uplift women, to people of color. And people who are just the talents were like people who are neurodivergent, people whose talents were like not seen as like important. This is now is the time, because now we can have diversity of thought, and this can just make things so much better when you're doing business. So much better. So I think that's what's being overlooked. It's like, yes, we need ethical AI, but it's like, let's change everything now. Let's change it for the better.
Yeah. Let's use this moment as our excuse, if we needed one, to break what was already broken. And we've known it, like one of the experiences that I have over and over, it's actually so easy. I feel guilty now to continue having this conversation with clients and prospective clients, but I'll say, we talk about governance and policies, and it's very, no one is like, yay, let's do that, right? It's just not exciting. They would much rather learn how to make a custom GPT. I said, well, we can do that. We can do the fun things. This is a spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down, right? And they said, well, okay, we'll talk to you about policies and stuff. And I start with saying, so let's talk about your existing data privacy and security policy. Let's get that out. Who's been trained on that? Like nobody. So now we get to break what's already broken. The culture was we created a policy probably inside one silo, right? Probably in like IT or IS. We created a policy and we put it somewhere. And maybe they think that means people were trained on it, right? People don't even know the words data privacy, and it might be existing on their intranet somewhere, but anyway, so now we get to say, all right, so we've been pretty lucky. We haven't made any huge mistakes yet, but now we're going to pour AI into this, and now we're really tempting fate. So let's start over with how we create policies. So an opportunity to break what's already broken. Amina, how about you? What are you seeing as opportunities for us to, what are we missing as we think about responsible AI?
I think the first thing I would like to acknowledge are the risks. If we correct the behaviors that we are doing, like how 𝘚𝘩𝘦 said that agent is the latest trend, and we don't need agents all the time. We can just do with prompt engineering sometimes, for example. But people like to onboard on the trend and just create complex projects for themselves, which are harder to maintain. So I think that's the biggest risk, is over engineering and over complicating things. So keep it simple would be my first principle. If I have to have like three core principles, first is keep it simple. Do not over engineer or do not over complicate. And second, I would say always keep human in the loop. Do not automate 100%. AI is not here to replace us or like do everything for us. It's just helping us do those monotonous, boring jobs. So yeah, don't trust AI completely and don't automate. Have the smarter humans in the loop too for this crucial decision making. And also don't be lazy. Like just don't leave it on AI and trust it. And third one, always do aggressive validations. Like it hallucinates and you won't even know. Like I was doing this project very recently and I did have like a couple of attributes and it hallucinated to what final level like a senior engineer like me could, like when I had to like literally spend an hour to backtrack and understand, it created this entire attribute by itself. And I just thought I was getting that from the source data. So, it hallucinates at a very fine level than the results. So you will be surprised to what it can generate. So, you don't trust it 100%, validate it aggressively, use it to enhance your capability. It's not there to replace you. So, you have to be really, really smart in how you use the AI. I think that's the core responsibility that humans have here. I think if these three things are in place, rest will fall in place. And then, all the compliance and governance and everything are just like the extra bells and whistles that we can add to the projects that we'll be working on and make it as robust and as secure as possible.
So what I love about this is I've pretty much concluded that the argument for most of us using AI is not about productivity. Like, women don't really struggle to be productive. Let's be honest. We are
Yes.
crushing every minute of every day. There's no just sitting around like, oh God, I wish I had something that I could do right now to generate something that the world would find of value. So, and if we talk like what you said, Amina, about aggressively validating, right? And as we were talking about before we came on, the need to look at things through multiple different models. Like, this is not actually faster. We didn't set out today to do something super fast. We set out to do something that is different, better, deeper, more meaningful, maybe more scalable, or to scale something that's already working. I know that we do need to talk about the productivity piece, and we could frame it as as really, I think about it as, this is a halfway formed thought, but rather than about productivity, it's about how we can allocate our very best energy. So for me, those little tasks, they are double black diamond tasks. Those little things they take my creative energy, even though it's not a creative project. So if I don't have to do that, then I get to use my creative energy for, a briefing for the board. But I didn't actually it's not really about saving time. It's about reallocating energy so it's used to its best and highest benefit. Sundie,
Yeah.
how about you? What are we missing with responsible AI?
Responsible AI has to start at the beginning. It has to be baked in from the seeds. And trusting big tech to regulate big tech has never ended well. And we have allowed for a few very powerful individuals to control platforms that provide access to the internet, access to information, access to opportunity, economic foundations, and things of that nature. If something were to happen to one of those companies, the ripple effect on the economy and the livelihood of so many people would be adversely affected. And so we have overlooked who's building, should they be the only ones building, and is what they're building actually serving the purpose that they set out to serve? If you started out as a utility and a utility mindset like the power grid in Texas, if that power grid goes out, 300 million people or whatever this very large number of people are now without power.
Yeah.
If Facebook is a utility and now AI is part of that utility, we haven't put any intention or rigor into how these tools have been developed. And because they are such black boxes, we have no line of sight to the bias that is baked in, to the lack of access for the global south, to all of the other elements that allow for humans to remain at the center of this technology being built. You now have these very powerful men on an apology tour for, oops, we forgot to build morality into it. oops, it's going to be a tough 10 or 15 years because the AI is on the loose, and they're on these talk shows talking as though they didn't build it, as though they didn't have any part of it.
Yes.
There's no responsibility at that seed level, you know, and I'm reminded of that movie every single time Jennifer Aniston is talking to the boyfriend in the breakup, and he says, so what, if you want me to do the dishes, just tell me to do the dishes. And she says, Gary, I don't want to tell you to do the dishes. I want you to want to do the dishes. Mark Zuckerberg, I want you to want ethical AI. I want you to want AI that protects children and looks after the safety and well-being of humans. That's what I want. And we have lost sight of that.
We have lost sight of that. Yeah. It's been real, and it's happened little by little without us even noticing it.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Yeah.
Like a frog in water. How did we get here? I was listening to a podcast this morning by a couple of researchers at Virginia Tech and Stanford. These two women who, one comes from a marketing background and one comes from just a completely academic background, and their specialty is data privacy and security. They're trying to figure out, you know, how do we get this information out into the world? Because most of us didn't even ever know that we were supposed to care about our own data.
Yeah.
So that caused me to kind of reflect back on what, you know, I am in fact the kind of person who leaves my front door open, right? On my actual house.
Yep.
But I also live somewhere where I know my neighborhood. I know who's going to walk by. It's not a mystery to me, right? Sure. Could an interloper come? Absolutely. Could bad things happen because I leave my door open? Absolutely. Also, would I like my teenager to be able to walk through the front door in the middle of the night instead of ruin one of the windows climbing in? Yes. Walk through the front door. So I'm going to leave it open, right? Everything is a trade-off. But as I thought about the way that I have engaged with all sorts of, you know, just like no data privacy, like none. I didn't know it was a thing.
Not in the United States.
Right? Not in the United States. Like, but here I am now, and I should know better, and I should change some of my behaviors, and I probably will someday, but I still have to work on like passwords and stuff. All right. How about this? With our last segment here, I'd love to hear. We have a podcast called the AI Readiness Project, and one of the questions we ask people is, what does AI readiness mean to you? I would love to hear, Sundie, you were recently on the show, so you could probably kick it off. What does AI readiness mean? And then from there, what would you recommend to somebody who's still on the sidelines?
For me, AI readiness is the openness to change and adaptability. And it's not adaptability to the tools that are available. It's the mindset that we need to walk into AI with. We need to walk into artificial intelligence with a mindset for agency. We need to own the AI so that the AI doesn't own us. So what do I mean by that? I mean that you are my intern. You are my co-founder. In terms of me, this is how you function within my space. That way, regardless of how the tools change in the future, because LLMs are not the last piece of technology that we will see. There's already a world model that learns differently, is seeded differently. So there's change coming even within AI. But if you think about all of the ways that we had to adapt when we moved from a phone book to an internet, where we no longer print phone books. It took a while, right? People stopped putting their businesses in the phone book in favor of, hey, I have a .com. So it's that adaptability and mindset when you walk into it of really being ready and prepared with your own agenda, owning your own reason for being there. We are not passive. If we walk into AI in a passive way, we are the product. We are being extracted from, we are the trainers. And so we have to walk into this new age of technology with the level of audacity of a really inexperienced, middle-aged, mediocre white man. We really like the audacity of, you are my intern. Why did you refuse to give me that answer?
Yeah.
You are my intern. You are my agent. Why did you hallucinate? Help
Right.
me understand why you did that wrong. Why did you not follow my instructions?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have your agenda, then if you don't know what you stand for, then you will fall for anything.
Yes.
So we really
Yes.
need to walk into
Yes.
this next era of technology with agency, owning why we're there, intentionally using the algorithm and the technology to our benefit. So that looks like walking in and saying, I'm looking for bread recipes, not going to the internet and plugging into whatever algorithm, whatever social platform, and just scrolling until you find a bread recipe.
Ooh.
So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Agency is a search for bread recipes on an AI-driven platform like an Instagram.
Yeah.
Or ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And non-agency is walking in going, I think I'm hungry, ChatGPT, what should I cook?
Yeah.
So there's just a different way of engaging with the technology, and that agency is what keeps us in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I love that as I think about sort of what that even means for prompting is like,
yes,
let's just tell the audacity. Let's be very clear. Let's ask for what we want, right?
Yes.
Metaphorically and actually. Let's ask for what we want. Nagawa, how about you? What does AI readiness mean to you?
Well, to me, it means like, you know what problems you need to solve, and you need a better way of doing it. So if you don't have enough time, we can find the tools that can help you do your work faster and quicker, just so it's more helpful to you. And that type of thing, just making sure that you know what the problem is, you want to amplify it, but you're making sure you're still in control. You're still explaining, because I explain to people, you're going to get bad like outputs from AI if you don't know how to like ask for it first. So it's like personalized to you, your use case, and who you're trying to attract or who you're trying to like bring the message to.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like totally off base with something you got from AI, and it's like it doesn't help you at all. Then you have to redo it yourself.
Yes. So. Yep. I think I've shared before that one of the things that a few of my clients have come back to me with is, okay, great. So everybody has decided they're going to use AI with their email. So what's happening is it's one regurgitated chat, output to one regurgitated chat output. No one knows what anyone actually thinks or is suggesting or advising. And so now everybody's having to go back to have meetings. We have this with our clients where we used to have a process where we sent something ahead of time and they would write their responses out and it would come back to us. But in the last few months, everything started to come back very flat. And we're doing fundraising communication and everything sounds the same. I actually don't have any idea what they're passionate about. I don't have any idea where I can take this communication because I've just gotten this, the typical AI slop. And I don't hold it against them. I think some people truly don't know that it's not just a tab A slot B, right? I think some people don't know that it's not magic and that it is more about you than it is about the tech. Anyway, Amina, what does AI readiness mean to you, and what would you recommend for anyone who's still on the sidelines?
Yeah, for sure. If I look at the bigger picture, I feel like the teams or the talents that we have, we need to up level them with the right AI skills because it's very overwhelming out there. So provide them with that narrowed down list of things that need to up level with and set them up with success. Like, hey, this is the course from this university. I've already taken a look at it and go do it. This is how it will help, will reduce the friction, and they definitely go get it done because the research part is what stops people from usually pursuing it. So I see that's number one priority for AI readiness. And other than that, I feel it's the right foundations, the processes in place, and also the transparency and explainability of the AI outputs is what would make us trust the AI more and make it more scalable. And that's how we can sustain it for the future.
Awesome. Wonderful. Great. So, everybody, these women, as well as I want to say 9 other brilliant AI leaders, are going to be present for System Override. Sunday is our keynote. Do not miss it. It will be at 9 a.m. Pacific time, give or take. We might do a little bit earlier. We're not sure. On September 4th, you can register at this QR code. You can also go to SheLeadsAI.ai. You'll find the event there. Thank you, Sunday, Amina, Nagawa. I appreciate you so much for coming in and sharing your wisdom so generously. Thanks for taking time out of your day or night. And I will see you all on the 4th. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful
Thanks,
rest of
Anne.
your day.
Thank you.
Bye.